So the big question is this: how are those in the self-storage industry like us going to be successful in today's market? That's the question, and this show will give you the answers. My name is Jim Ross, and welcome to the Self-Storage Show.
Hey everyone. Hey, before we get started, I invite you to go to 3milestorage.com. That's the number 3milestorage.com. When you go to that website, you'll find my new book is available. Unlock the Power of Remote Management for Your Self-Storage Business is available. There is a free ebook version and also a link that will bring you to the physical version that you can order. So again, enjoy and go to 3milestorage.com. Hi everyone. This is Jim Ross from the Self-Storage Show. Today, we're recording a podcast live. This is part of my Meetup Mondays we got going on. This is our first session here. This is fun. So we got about 25, 26. Oh, it's climbing. Of people joining us live here, recording this podcast. And then after we do this podcast, we open it up for open networking and table talks. It's kind of like virtual roundtables. It's probably a good way to put it. So appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to this. Right now, it seems like remote management is just a hot topic because so many people are finding success with it. And so it's definitely something I am jumping into with both feet for my management clients and other people I talk to all the time that are transitioning their operations to this. So I thought it would just be helpful to just kind of show basically a quick case study in transitioning a self-storage business to remote management operations in the next 30 days. This is a site, well, I'll get into it here in a second here. And again, I'm showing slides. So those of you that are tuning in, just the audio podcast, sorry, use your imagination, or you can jump on YouTube and find the video there, okay? And first off, I think, thankfully, we've all landed on the terminology for this kind of thing, remote management, manless operations. We kind of had the debate back and forth for, it seems like the past year, but I think we've all landed on remote management. So it's cool. I'm running with it. So it's basically that's leveraging tools and systems to increase the profitability and efficiency of a self-storage business without having an on-site manager, okay? Without having that traditional manager sitting there behind the desk. Really, who is this for? I've seen people switching this to operations all across the board when it comes to, obviously the smaller sites, because it just didn't make financial sense, frankly, to have a manager there all the time. So they've been running remote for a long time. Okay. This isn't anything new to them, but of course it works great for them. Medium size, large size. I think the largest I have right now that I have on there is 800 and some odd units, maybe larger than that are running this operation. I know other ones that are 100,000 square feet running remote managed. So the technology is caught up. So it really scales to measure from small, medium, or large. These kind of systems are working for everybody. And you may remember, my gosh, it's probably been a couple years ago now, the way time flies. When I was really jumping into remote management, I wanted to learn about it. And like I said, this isn't anything really new. It's just now it's on everyone's radar thanks to COVID. So I interviewed, Bob Copper and Brad Minsley and Jane Sauls and Catherine East and dealt with Open Tech Alliance because they have been dealing a lot with these kind of systems and processes and helping those people. Here's the tools, to help your operations. So I interviewed all of these guys. I was just like, cool, just tell me what you did, step 1, 2, 3, how did it work? What did you learn? And that just helped me put that in my own operations so I can help roll this out to my clients in like 30 days. Okay. So that's kind of the genesis of how this all started happening just in the last couple of years. And like I said, I do this all across, doesn't matter. Doesn't small, medium, large sites or geographic. Everyone's doing it. At least in my view, everyone should do it. But let's get on here. I'm going to take this one site here. This is kind of my stomping grounds here. And I had this owner call me and this is a few years ago, and looking for management. She's just like, well, first off, we have to address my manager problem. Like, oh, all right, what's going on? She's like, I just can't keep them. Can't keep managers. And part of me is wondering, well, maybe you're the problem. Micromanaging too much. But she did have a point. Just there was a lot of things going on, and it was just kind of like a revolving door of managers there. They could just never get any traction on what was going on there. And so I was like, cool, I'll manage your property, but we're going to do it this way. And told her about remote management, and Sam, like everybody else, was like, well, what's that? Okay. And so, well, hear me out. For remote management, and I wanted to kind of put herself in the shoes of outside storage. Okay. Don't even think about storage. Let's look at other industries. Okay. You're booking a flight. Are you talking to anybody? I'm like, God, no, I don't want to do that. So no, you do everything online, booking your flight, booking a hotel. You don't even go to the front desk anymore. Get your hotel keys and book everything on your phone. And of course, I'm getting the yes. Oh, I do that. Yep. From the owner. Oh, yep. I don't go to the actual desk. Ordering food. Your DoorDashes, and like this is like McDonald's app. They just order all your food right on the app and go pick it up. A lot of times, the kiosk is there, and they don't even have anyone behind the desk anymore. You have to order through the kiosk. This ain't nothing new, but for self-storage, it's not that far away from renting a truck, U-Hauls. And when they're handing keys out without having to talk to anybody, you can do everything online on your phone to rent a U-Haul truck. And this has been going on for years. Okay. And it's actually a pretty smooth process. I've gone right up to the point of actually having to pay just to kind of see what the process was. And I'll hats off to those guys. They got that dialed in. It's pretty cool. But again, now just looking at storage, everyone's doing it. All the big boys are doing it. Okay. And if you're not kind of following what the big guys are doing, you're going to get left behind. Okay. That's what these guys are all about, pushing what they can do to become more efficient and good customer service, frankly. And customers want to use a service like this. Okay. I mean, as I've just showed you with the hotels and the food and Ubers and everything else. It's kind of taking that human element out of it, but it's remotely managed. You can do it this way, and it's actually better customer service. That's what they want. Okay. They want to deal with it this way. So just look, you got your extra spaces, you got your Cube Smarts. Go online, go to the websites, and just look at it and be like, oh, wow. The first thing that's in your face is rent online, contact free. Don't deal with a human. You can do it all on your time and find your unit, and you are in control. Of course, the U-Hauls again, pushing that for the contact free, public storage, boom, right in your face, online. And again, like I said, this isn't new. Again, these are a bunch of operators that have done specifically remote managed operations for years in the self-storage industry and done it very, very successfully. Okay. Now it's just catching on. We're trying to let you peek behind the curtain of how it's done, frankly. So I came up with this design because it helped solidify in her mind kind of the visual. Like, this is how we're going to do it. Okay. This is the path to separating yourself from being the owner that's, right in all the operations and trying to go back through and trying to hire the manager and pain in the butt. I kind of laid this out for it and it clicked. So I started using this everywhere. And it's just, 3 steps to self-storage automation. Probably should change that to 3 steps to self-storage remote management, but you get the idea. And it's really about separating responsibilities for greater efficiency and profitability, frankly. So the first step was getting that customer management. That's your call center. Okay. That's the backbone of everything for this, is having a great call center. Step 2 was the facility management. Okay. You still got to have someone on the ground. You still got the boots on the ground that's doing the inspections and helping with the cleaning and repairs, and ultimately helping them up with the auction prep as well. And then, of course, you got your property management, kind of ties everything all together. And that's I include like your storage software and many times, a lot of the owners that I talk to, you're at the goal line. You're already there. It's just a matter of just flipping the switch. And it's like, cool, just flipping that switch and being saying, okay, I'm gonna go remotely manage. What do I need to do? And really it comes down to that call center and that maintenance tech, and they're golden. Okay. It's those two things. There's a lot of things are already set up. They're already there for in most storage softwares, okay, if it's worth anything. So in this instance, like I said, we were already on that goal line. They already had the storage software, they had a website, they had a coded gate. It's not like it was a brand new facility where we're starting from ground zero. No, they were already in operations, okay? We were just changing things and how they operate. But the foundation, cool. We were set. It was already there. So the first and foremost thing is, man, signage is huge. Okay, it comes down to really good signage. So again, I'll try to paint the visual here for those that are listening on the audio podcast. But you have your course, cool, you're welcome sign, and saying that you can easily make your payment and move in now at, have a QR code, and here's the website as well. If you need assistance, call, and it'll go to the call center. When they're vacating, hey, avoid any charges. Take a picture of the photo with the unit number of it showing empty. Send us your name and unit number and the facility number, facility name, and send it to this text, to this number. We'll get you moved out. Having that very big on the exit gate. Of course, a lot of you probably heard of DaVinci locks. That's been a lifesaver for many sites that we have in doing this transition, just because I don't want someone there, once they're 10 days late, let's just say, putting those overlocks on. That's great. But once they make their payment and pay up, I don't want my maintenance tech having to go back out and back out and back out just to go and take a lock off. Okay. And that's time, and time is money. So no, we put the DaVinci locks on. So they'll go out one time during the month, say on the 10th. Whoever's late, everyone gets up that overlock for DaVinci, and great. Now it's up to the software that once they make their payment, great. Now they'll get a code and says, hey, thank you for making your payment up. Here's the code to take the lock off your unit. Please drop it in the Dropbox. Simple, clean, and it saves that time and effort of that maintenance guy going back out there just for that. If you're doing the video surveillance, make sure the cameras are up everywhere, because that's always everyone's first concern is, if there's no manager there, we're going to get so many break-ins. Well, common sense is you're getting all the break-ins when the manager's not there anyway. They're going there after 6 o'clock after you close up. Okay. And the manager's not there. That's when you get the break-ins. So that's neither here nor there. I'm not seeing any more. And we get break-ins. Hey, this is called what it is. It is storage. It's going to happen. But I don't get any more than what I did before. Okay. Doing it this way. So just show the sign saying, hey, you're being watched. Of course, your gate, code. And then just showing like, hey, you can write in 4 easy steps. Scan this, or go to the website, find your unit size, enter your information in. Great. After that, we'll send you your code to get in the gate, your unit number, copy of your lease, all that. Roll up the door. There's going to be a lock in there waiting for you. And again, all this through your software is automated, okay? Through an email and text message. And if it's not, time for a phone call to call your storage rep. Walk them through this. And they'll walk you through it to make sure you're all set up. It's not that hard. And then really came down to the customer outreach. Because again, this was an existing facility. So it was sending texts and letters. I should have put it on there, but we also called everyone, just being like, hey, changing operations. We don't have a manager here on site anymore. Very important that you create your online account through your storage software. Go on auto pay, and we gave some incentives for that to go on auto pay as much as possible. That's very key, because you don't want to deal with cash, you don't want to deal with checks. You just get everyone on auto pay. It makes life so much easier. And we'll be doing a lot of probably other content around exactly that, on that kind of implementation for this customer outreach, because it is really important. And of course, updating your website to say, hey, this location is managed remotely. Please call your number for assistance, and really making that show that it's very clear. that there's not an on-site manager. So really, that first thing again was that the customer management, getting that call center, and that was a matter of a week, frankly. Going back to this 30-day mark, so I get the timeline here going. First week, we had that turned on, ready to go. And after I'm done with this, want to talk specifics at my table, more happy to talk more specifics on this as well. But for these guys, the live remote managers or the call center, they do everything that the manager is supposed to do, the customer service. But now we're doing it 7 days a week, basically 12-hour days, 7 days a week. It's awesome. We're always open. They can reserve and rent units, by the phone, help them online. They have amazing sales presentations dialed in because that's all that these guys do. That's their job, is doing great sales presentations. They're taking the payments, obviously, helping with the collections, everything your traditional manager would do. Frankly, kind of a higher quality of person because these guys can actually get paid higher, but you're getting better quality people, getting paid better because they're scaling, they're answering more than just your side, of course. And we've seen our conversion rates go much higher than they were before traditionally. Okay. Again, we just flipped the switch. We went on the online move-ins, one on the current software, just make sure all that was dialed in. Of course, do your test runs, as you're act like you're a customer to rent a unit from yourself, just see how that process goes so you can sleep at night knowing it's all smooth when it comes to renting online. And just, hey, cool, turn on that call center, did some test calls. We were sweet. Okay, done. Did that in under a week. At the same time, we were running ads for finding a good the on-site maintenance tech. And this is always a thing where people can kind of think, oh God, no one wants a job where they're only working, 20 hours a month. True, I get it. But you're not finding people where this is their only source of income. It's just, you're not. You're finding people that are, I found some great ways of finding people that are either retired, and it is okay just working those hours. But I found more success in finding people that are already doing like apartment. They work for like property management companies for like apartments. So they're already cleaning out units or units cleaning out apartments. So they're kind of used to that flow. And cleaning out a storage unit that's nothing. So they already have, what I'm getting at is they already have income coming in from their job. This is just like a side hustle for them. And it's been great. You just go through, for that way. I use Indeed, frankly, go through that way and publish that. And, go to my table later. If you want to reach out, I can show you kind of how I advertise this specific job, if that helps. It's just being very crystal clear on what the job entails. That helps a lot in getting a quality people to apply. Okay. These guys, they're doing the walkthroughs, security checks, at least, 2 or 3 times a week is kind of a good general rule. Of course, cleaning the vacated units, preparing the thank you bags with new locks inside the units after it's all cleaned up and ready to rent. Minor repairs, how about in the landscaping, and also ultimately helping out with the auction prep. We train them don't want to get too far in the weeds on this, but we help train them taking the videos and the pictures and unit inventory when it comes to preparing a unit for auction. Okay. So that's all their responsibilities. And we found this guy within probably 4 days after saying, hey, we're going to go to remote managed, and then had him trained about 5 days after that. So essentially in the first 2 weeks, great. Check that box. We had this guy hired, trained, and he was ready to go. This particular one we ended up with 20 hours a month at $20. I think we ended up raising him to 25, frankly, after that, but still, hey, it's a bargain. And like I said, it really comes down to the maintenance of just having that communication and a schedule set so they know what they're doing when they show up to the facility. Okay. There's schedules you can put together, seasonal kind of duties you can put together. So communication is very key. And so essentially this facility, they replaced the manager that they were paying, it was about $4,300 all said and done with burden and everything. With a live remote manager, it was about $800. It's actually gone down a little bit since then, but around $800. And then a part-time maintenance tech for around $500 a month. Okay. So big savings right there. And after 30 days of operations and going through everything, I sat down with the owner and be like, all right, let's have a little check-in. Let's see, let's do a spot check and see where we're at, see how things are going. I looked at the numbers, and one of the first things that she flat out said was, the way I was doing it before was outdated and risky. And I kind of knew what she meant, talking about outdated. I got that, but I'm like, risky, what? And she laid it out. She goes, well, now, my old site versus what I'm doing now, traditional staffed facility, the managers, they are calling in sick. And I have to like run around trying to figure out how to staff a facility that day. Of course, I got to take vacation time. I got to worry about how to find the relief and work around the relief, trying to get them to take over when they're on vacation. That's a pain. Of course, running late. Hey, that all happens. Quit. That's how I got this call in the first place. It was just a revolving door of managers quitting on her and finding the next best job. And then she's like back to square one on training, getting women set back up again. And this was something that was surprising. I wasn't on my radar till after I started looking at the numbers, and kind of the traditional manager that was there, they get, well, Bob, he's always late, well, he's good for it. I'll waive his fee, and that kind of thing, or giving extra discounts and things like that. Once we went to the remote manager call center approach, that stopped. It's like they have their orders of, we can waive one fee per calendar year per tenant. That's it, and they stick to it, because not to say we're cold hearted, but you're not getting that emotionally invested of seeing Bob come in every single day and how are the kids doing and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, waive fees were gone and discounts were at a minimum. And yeah, so it was just that money we were leaving on the table every single month. Now we're just going back in their pocket. It was fantastic. I hate to say this word, but it's true. Embezzling. There's issues with not this particular site, but I've seen some other locations and just talk with other owners of like, man, I switched to this approach and having the call center, not having the manager on site anymore, dealing with the money. I'm making a lot more than I was before. Red flag, something was going on. So when you kind of taken away that, just temptation, I guess is a good, that's a word for it, but taking away that temptation of, oh man, they're behind that desk 8 hours a day, and then you can start justifying things here and there. It might start with a lock, and then it starts with, cash payment here and there, and it can get pretty crazy quick. Anyway, well, that's gone. Don't have to worry about that portion of it. So that's fantastic. And like I said, especially with relief managers, I mean, not even managers sometimes are hard to keep staffed. Relief managers are even worse. It's even harder to keep a good relief manager on site for your facility, just because, the hours, and they can bounce pretty quick. So again, just having that call center being available and great customer service, well, took care of that issue as well. So yeah, like I said, in 30 days, this owner acknowledged that, wow, we're actually providing better customer service. Replace my average payroll. It's about $4,200 for a total of like $1,300 now for the call center and the maintenance tech. I'm saving almost $3,000 a month. Okay, sweet. I'm sold. She was very happy. They were having higher than normal move-ins because, again, just frankly, just being available, to just having those longer service hours and customer support hours, and pushing online move-ins, they were getting higher move-in rates. So that was even better. And that, of course, equal to having the all-time high in revenue that month. So after that, she's like, okay, I wish I would have made this change sooner. And after kind of going through this with her, is what really made me realize that there's really something to this approach, and not just because it's new and all that. No, it's not just because everyone's talking about it. Everyone's talking about it for a reason. Businesses evolve, things change, and I love stories, but I swear sometimes we're like 10 years behind the times on things. We're catching up to what everyone else has been doing, frankly. This is how customers want to be renting. This is how the experience they're looking for and the experience they're expecting to have. So it's something I really like everyone to, open themselves up to, look at, do some research on. Again, probably a little bit longer than I was expecting, but thank you so much for listening to this recording in this podcast, and I'll catch you guys soon.